Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In today's Faction Focus we are looking at the Ironjaws, the big Oruks, and the Green Menace. So let's see what they can bring to 4th edition. Before we get into today's video, I have a disclaimer for yesterday's video for the Slaves to Darkness. I made a mistake. I was tired. I apologize. So if any of the information that I passed in that video was wrong, which it was, I will clarify. And what this is about the Mark of Tzeentch and the Eye of the Gods ward roll part. I misread it and said that you would able to get the 5+ if you have the Mark of Tzeentch. That is not correct. The only way to trigger the 5+ ward save from the Eye of the Gods is to have a 6+ ward save when you make that roll. So the Mark of Tzeentch will not give you that because that is a 4+ ward save. So I just want to clarify that before we jump into today's video. So sorry for the wrong information. That's right, today's faction focus is the Ironjaws, the Oruk war clans. Pretty cool faction, probably one of the earlier factions that come into the game of Age of Sigmar. Very, very cool. I had a lot of fun playing Oruks, the Ironjaws, in 2nd edition, and almost started them in 3rd edition. They are really, really cool. Very simple army to play. They're a very point and click. You just point, go forward, charge, and kill everything in front of you. They are a very new player-friendly army. Their models are great, and especially with the new update that they just got with a couple of new units, new updated Ard Boys, and a couple of new hero models. Absolutely brilliant. Really looking forward to seeing what they actually they get new in 4th edition. Such a really cool faction, but let's have a little look at them. And we'll have a see what they bring. I mean, like, you know, who could not like giant orcs riding massive pigs? Very, very, very cool. So, their battle traits, short and simple, exactly what you'd expect from an Oruk. They are, once per turn, Mighty Destroyer. It's still here. Pick a friendly Ironjaws unit that this was not set up this turn to be the target. The target can move up to 3 inches. It can move into combat. If it was in combat at the start of the move, it must end that move in combat. Basically, it's once per turn, army, any hero phase. Pick a friendly Ironjaws unit. That only seems to be 1 unit, which hopefully there's going to be other ways of manipulating this for multiple units. But yeah, basically it's a free move. Now, it's not as good as it used to be. It was a lot better in previous editions. You could, in previous editions, you can move, you could charge, and you could even, if you were in combat already, you could then have a round of combat in the hero phase, and it was really, really good, and you could really play into that sort of mechanic that the Ironjaws had. But this time, it's just literally a free move of 3 inches. It can move it. It can move into combat though, so if you are outside of the 3-inch combat radius, you can move into it. If it was in combat at the start of the move, it must end that move in combat. So you can then sort of move around and sort of get into sort of more people. It's okay. I think it was a lot better in previous iterations, especially the combat and the fight in the hero phase was always quite nice. The Ironjaws War. So, pick a friendly Ironjaws hero to be the target. For the rest of the turn, the following effects apply to friendly Ironjaws units while they are wholly within 18 inches of the target. 18 inches is good. You add 1 to the charge rolls for those units. Add 1 to the attack characteristics of those units with melee weapons. So basically, it's a once per battle thing, and you go rah, and you have to scream wah. It's the rules. You scream wah at the top of your voice. Be that player. Be that guy. You know, like the Khorne World Eaters player who was doing press-ups in their opponent's plays. It's good. It's thematic. It's healthy for the game. Be that person. If that really annoys you, then you need a sense of humor. And Ironjaws players should be warring at every opportunity because it's funny. But yes, not bad. Not massively impressed with Mighty Destroyer, to be fair. So, Ironjaws Brawl, Natural Disaster. If you make an unmodified charge roll of an 8+, For a friendly non-heroes Ironjaws unit, add 1 to the attack characteristics of the unit's melee weapons for the rest of the turn. That's pretty cool. If you get an 8+ on your charge, you're going to get an extra attack. That's kind of nice. I'm expecting lots of attacks on things like brutes and Ironjaws. Hopefully we'll get to see some of them today. The Ironjaws don't have a massive roster of war scrolls and units, to be completely fair. So, you know, we're probably going to see quite a lot in this article. They have the lore of the weird. So their wizards are weird shamans. They're very weird. So you got bash 'em, lads. Pick a friendly Ironjaws wizard to pick and cast the spell. Pick a visible Ironjaws unit wholly within 12. And then roll 2d6 and you need a 6 or more. That target's weapons have crit 2 hits for the rest of the turn. Not bad. Pretty cool. Be interesting to see what else they come with. Okay, so we've got our first war scroll. We've got the big, the bad, the terrible Godrak, the Fist of Gork. Basically, he is he's a mega boss character who rides around on a big giant. We call it the cabbage, but it's basically a big sort of monster. Yeah, but basically it's a cabbage. It's a big giant cabbage. So, he has a 3-up save, pretty solid, 10 move, 20 health, nice, and a control of 5. He's got the Big Teeth Roar, which is the monsters, his beasts. Roar, it's got a range of 8, 6 attacks, 2s followed by 3s, no rend, 1 damage, can shoot in combat, and it's a companion attack. That's not bad. Hitting on 2s is pretty good, wounding on 3s is very good. No rend, only 1 damage, but hey, it's 6 attacks. So the melee weapons, it's got Smasher and Cunning. He's got 8 attacks. He hits on 3s. He wounds on 2s. He's got 1 rend, 2 damage, and anti-hero +1 rend. That is really good. Hits 3s and 2s is so good. Really, really nice. And then the big cabbage itself has 8 attacks. That does drop down to 6 if you have battle damage of 10 or more. Hits on 4s, wounds on 2s, 1 rend, 3 damage, anti-monster +1 rend, and it's a companion attack. 3 damage is pretty good. Pretty good. Now, bear in mind that he used to have like his big fist and stuff, and that I believe in the previous editions it was about 5 damage per hit. But yeah, 3 damage is pretty good, but still 8 attacks. Not to be sniffed at. So once per turn army, any combat phase, monsters grapple. Pick an enemy monster in combat with the target unit. Roll a dice on a 3+, pick one of the target's weapons. You must pick a companion weapon, if any. Half the attack characteristics of that weapon rounding up for the rest of the turn. That's okay. Yeah, okay, so you can target an enemy monster and basically pick one of their weapons. And if it's a companion weapon, it halves it. Now, I'm not too sure how that's going to work if you're coming up something like a Gargan or a big cow. This is very situational, but it is an enemy monster, so I am going to assume that this is going to be working really well against monstrous mounts, because they will be companion weapons and they would be monsters. Okay, so once per battle reaction, you declared a Wah, Voice of Gork. Until the start of your next turn, add 1 to the hit rolls for combat attacks made by friendly Ironjaws units while they are wholly within 18 inches of this unit. +1 hit is really good because you're going to get +1 to attack already, and you're getting +1 to hit, which is really quite nice. So yeah, it's pretty good. And then end of any turn, strength from the victory. If any damage points were allocated to an enemy unit by this unit's combat attacks this turn, and that enemy unit has been destroyed, give the unit a Wah token to a maximum of 3+. Until the end of the turn, add 1 to the attack characteristics of this unit's weapons for each Wah token it has. Now, this is changed. What this was the mega bosses. Basically, when it killed stuff, they got bigger. They gained attacks, and that stacked throughout the game. There was points in the game where you could get like a mega boss on foot or even on a Maw Crusher with like 5 or 6 extra attacks, And yeah, you just got progressively stronger and stronger and stronger. But basically, this is basically just a maximum of 3 that you're ever going to get. Okay, not too bad, not too shabby. Yeah, okay. He's definitely a combat output monster. They're pretty scary. 3-up save is good. The war ability is good. The rampage is not too bad. I'd be interested to see what the standard mega boss on a Maw Crusher is going to be like compared to Gordrak. Then we got the War Chanter, another staple model that you need in your Ironjaws army. It's a 4-up save, 4 move, 6 health, 2 control. He's got his stickers, like he's bringing in helicopters. 6 attacks, 4s and 3s, no rend, D3 damage. But at the end of any turn, the Rime of Destruction. I have just woke up from nights, by the way, so needing my brewski. If any enemy models were slain this turn by this unit's combat attacks, give this unit D3 ritual points. Okay. Now this model is a priest, so I'm expecting to see a priest law in the faction pack. One thing that stands out straight away from this model is there's no buff. So what you used to be able to pick like a buff that the War Chanter was able to do. I'm going to suspect that those buffs are in the priest sort of law thing. Okay? That they're probably still there. So anyone who is an Ironjaws player who is watching this and is looking at this going, why has the War Chanter got no buffs? I'm expecting that they're in the War Chanter, the sort of the law, the priest law that the faction pack will come with. And this will probably tie into this thing. If any enemy models were slain this turn by this unit's combat attacks, it gains D3 ritual points. Because ritual points is what priests now use. So I'm expecting that's the case for that, alright? And as expected, here we are. We have the wardrobe beats. So in your hero face, it costs 4 ritual points. Pick a friendly Ironjaws priest to chant this prayer. Pick a visible Ironjaws unit wholly within 12 inches of them to be the target, and then make a chanting roll of a d6. Add 1 to the damage characteristics of the target's melee weapons for the rest of the turn. If the chanting roll was 8+, you can pick 2 eligible targets to be the target instead of 1. So as you can see, that is exactly what I was talking about. So yeah, Killer Beats is there. There'll probably be another one for movement, and there'll be another one for saves and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty good. Okay, one of my all-time absolute favorite units in an Ironjaws army, Brutes. Make Brutes great again. They have a 3-up save, already not too shabby. They have a 4 movement. It's a giant orc. They have 3 health each. That is really good. Control of 1. So each model in this unit is armed with a brute weapon. 1 in 5 models can replace the brute weapon with a gore chopper, standard, and the champion cannot replace their weapons. So they have the brute weapons, which is 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, nice. Wounding on 3s, -1 rend, 2 damage, nice. And anti-infantry +1 rend. You gotta love to see it. Gotta love to see it that they're going to brutalize other infantry units. And then the Gore Chopper is 3 attacks, 4s, followed by 3s, 2 rend, 3 damage. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. Right, they've got an effect, You're Messing, and it's a passive ability. Enemy models with a health characteristic of 1 or 2 cannot contest objectives while they're in combat with this unit. Yeah, basically they bully you, basically. They're big bullies. Brutes are just big bullies. Not bad. The anti-infantry rule on it is just so good to see, because this is just everything that Brutes are. Really happy with that. So, you know, they're going to go into combat in most things, like, are going to be infantry. And, yeah, getting Rend 2, damage 2 against them, and then Rend 3, damage 3 on the Gore Chopper is really good. Now, they have lost the champion's weapons, which was like the fist and the axe. They've lost that, so which is a shame. But they're not bad. I'm actually quite impressed with that. Make Brutes great again. Okay, so we got the Maw Grunter, and this is the I believe going to be the mega boss on a War Grunter. No, it's not. It's a Morg Grunter, which is one of the pigs. So, it's a monster. It's a 3-up save. It's got a movement 10 of 12 health, control of 5, so lots of attacks. It's got choppers, 4 attacks, 4s followed by 3s, 1 rend, 2 damage. Killer choppers, 4 attacks, 4s followed by 3s, 1 rend, 1 damage. Got the Gore Grunter's tusks, 5 attacks, 4s followed by 2s, 2 damage, 2 rend, companion. Then it's got the trotters, standard, 4 attacks, 5 followed by 2s, no rend, D3, companion attack. As a pig goes, it's pretty good. So unstoppable momentum. So this is the kind of rule that they had. They brought in with the little supplement that they had, which was like momentum. So each time this unit uses a charge ability, it gains a momentum point. Each time it uses a run ability, it gains 2 momentum points. If you can have maximum of 3 momentum points at a once. Sorry about my cough. It's been really annoying today. At the end of the number of momentum points this unit has, add the number of momentum points this unit has to the damage characteristic of the Gore Grunter's tusks. So if you've got 3 momentum points, you're going to be damage 5 for those 5 attacks for the tusks. Cool. At the end of each battle round, subtract 1 from the momentum points to a minimum of 10. Okay. So once you've used them, you've lost it. Once per turn, army your movement phase. If this unit is in combat, it can move a distance up to its move characteristic. It can pass through models and the combat ranges of enemy units, but it cannot end the move in combat. So you can run out of combat in your movement phase. Then pick each enemy unit that this unit passed across. Roll a d3, and on a 2+, inflict the amount of damage equal to the roll. Then this unit gains 2 momentum points. So basically, if you're in combat at the start of your movement phase, you can run through the unit out, as long as you stay outside of combat, which also means you're going to be able to charge. You're going to then roll the dice, do more damage, and gain momentum points. Really kind of nice. A little bit simple, but nice. And then we're going to go, and that was this big guy here. The new big pig. And then we're going to get into see what wow, there is really nothing for the studio for the Ironjaws when it comes to Spearhead. That is it. That is okay. I guess they didn't really want to bother with Spearhead for the Ironjaws. What is going on there, Games Workshop? Okay, so tomorrow we've got Sylvaneth. Sylvaneth are tomorrow, which means that we're going to be finishing the faction focuses on Friday with the Blades of Corn. So tomorrow is the trees. Let's see what the trees have come in. I absolutely hate playing trees, so I'm really intrigued to see what they're doing. Their fight and fade rule is absolute BS, so I'm interested to see if that disappears. As for the Ironjaws, pretty impressed. Some of the stuff is a little bit lackluster. Mighty Destroyer is not so great. The pigs look good. The brutes look good. And yeah, that's not too bad. I think they'll be pretty decent. Like I said, they are very much a very easy army to get into for new players. They're very point and click. You basically just charge forward, get into combat, and mess things up. But yeah, pretty decent. So that's the video, everyone. If you like what I'm doing, please like, subscribe, and share. And also, most importantly, subscribe. We are getting so close to 3,000 subscribers. It is just so good. Oh, it's brilliant. Thank you very much for all the support, by the way. And I will see you tomorrow for the trees. Okay, people. Catch you later.